All right, Savages, we are back. And I have a little bit of a mess to clean up, but let's go ahead and get after it because we're going to add an unsupported miner to Simple Mining OS. In this case, we're going to be using the Beam, or we're going to be mining Beam, which is a brand new coin that came out yesterday, I believe. But let's get after it. So on the random coin mining show, we kind of got caught up in a situation where we were not able to actually mine Hush using Simple Mining OS. So I got to clear that up first. We after the stream was over, we ended the stream, and then I was able to figure out with the help of CryptoZ, we figured out that the problem was the miner that we were using, because remember, Hush is just straight Equihash, and it is mineable by ASICs. So a lot of the subsequent versions of miners just kind of did away with the 200_9 version of Equihash because it was all ASIC. So that's the problem that we were running into. If you use, let me switch to the desktop here. And if you use I just got to clear this up real quick. I know this doesn't have anything to do with mining adding an unsupported miner, but I got to clear up this from the mining show earlier. So if you use the EWBF version 0.3.4b, and it even says old on it, with this miner string, and all this is in the description of that particular video, the random coin mining show, then it works. So let me actually show you that real quick, just to prove it, just to prove that it works. So we'll assign that group to the NVIDIA rig here, and we'll let it reboot. It's going to reboot here behind me. Let me get over to that. Oop, there we go. So it's going to reboot over here, or it should, and then you will be able to see that we were actually successfully mining it. And it sucks that we weren't able to get it in the show, because that was the first one that we've come up on in a while that we weren't able to mine. So whatever, it sucks, but you know, it happens. You know, that's real life stuff whenever you're actually trying to mine a coin. So, you know, hey, you're going to run into problems, right? And that's exactly what we did. So if someone wanted to actually mine Hush, which I don't know why they would, because as I showed in the show, it was kind of like an abandoned project, or what appeared to be an abandoned project. So I don't know. I wouldn't throw my hash power at it and feel comfortable with it. But as you can see right here, it is mining at 2,520 souls per second, and we're getting accepted shares and things like that. But remember that we're competing with ASICs at this point. So there you go. So it did work, and the miner option string is in the description of that video. Not this video, but the video from the previous video. All right, so let's see. Who all's in here? Who all actually showed back up? Let me get back over here to. I want to mine Beam here. Actually, what I should do. Let's just switch to. We'll switch to Aeon right now. This rig right here is off because it is so loud and it interferes with the live stream. And then this rig is actually on Hive OS right now, so that's why it doesn't show up in Simple Mining. And I'm mining Haven protocol with that rig, so that's why it's red down here. I just leave them in there. I don't delete them, because they'll, you know, at some point I'll add them back into Simple Mining and fire it back up, or I might have a reason to. So let's get into how you would go about adding an unsupported miner to Simple Mining. Now, HiveOS makes it pretty slick. Their way of doing it is pretty easy and self-explanatory, but I have not successfully done it yet in HiveOS. Every time I've tried, it hasn't worked. Errors, you know, and the miner doesn't start and things like that. Now I have got Simple Mining to work mining Beam, which just came out yesterday, I believe. So was it Mimblewimble protocol, which is from Harry Potter, which is so cool. But anyway, so that's basically what we're going to use as an example of adding an unsupported miner. And what I mean by unsupported miner is there's actually, you know, Simple Mining has a list of miners that they include. So if you go to add group, you can see all the miners that they include, but oftentimes a new coin might come out and have its own miner. And then that miners may or may not ever be added to, depending on how popular it is, may or may not, and how many people actually request through Simple Mining support to add the miner. It might not ever be added to Simple Mining. So there are cases where, as the user, as the miner, you might want to, hey, I don't want to have to go to Windows 10 and actually manage all that other stuff. I really want to do it inside of Simple Mining OS, which I totally get. So that's what we're going to kind of cover. Basically, what you have to do is, it's kind of a trick. And Danny Greer is the one who came up with a script for doing this, making it super easy. And let's see, here's his Twitter right here. He, you know, he's into Linux and stuff like that. So he does some Linux programming, apparently, at least the scripting part of it. And he's he's produced a script to make this super easy for adding pretty much any miner to Simple Mining, as long as it's got a tar.gz file associated with it for Linux on GitHub. I mean, it probably doesn't have to be on GitHub, but it has to be in that format for it to work right. So basically what you do is you have to assign a miner to the rig and let it download the miner that you're not going to use. So it's like an unsupported miner. And you're going to trick Simple Mining OS because there's the web interface points to a specific miner name. And then what his script does is actually tricks Simple Mining OS into pointing to your new miner. All this will make a better sense as we go through it. So let's go ahead and start. What we'll do is, first I want to show you that it is successfully mining Beam, which that miner is not included in Simple Mining OS. So let's go over here and let's look at the console. So this is, whoops, this is actually Aeon, right? Never mind. All right, so let me change this to Beam real quick, just to show you that it does work. So we'll go to this group right here, Beam, and it's Equihash 150_5. So we'll save that and we'll let it reboot. I just want to show you that it submits shares and everything works. But what we're going to do is we're going to we'll probably just add on top of it. I'm not going to erase what I already have there because it's working, so I don't really want to mess with that. So it did reboot. If I show you the console here, you can see that it's submitting shares, submitting solution for job number 2. Now, I've been mining Beam since it came out yesterday, or sometime during the day yesterday, and I haven't got a payout yet. But if you go to the pool I'm using is Spark, and if you go to the pool, it says right here, Beam miners, please note. Now remember, this pool is very, I don't want to say the wrong word, but it's clearly foreign. Okay, so there are, you know, if you just go to the front page of it, the translations are a little weird and stuff like that. So I'll just read this to you. But basically, it just says, Beam miners, please note that the user has been generated transfer orders. Please keep the wallet afternoon online. I think that that means to keep your wallet, which right here is the Beam wallet, to keep it open, which I am, so that they can process the coins to transfer to your wallet. That's what it sounds like. Spark to transfer to all users in accordance with the order of application. I assume that that means that they're going to go in order that, you know, that they've been accumulated, right? The transfer process may be slower, so please understand. So I think that they're just behind because a lot of people are jumping on it, and I get it. All right, so great. So I don't know what understand more. Let's click that and see what it says. So again, we're back to you know, some seriously. Now this is on Brave browser. On the Chrome, it'll translate it for you. But I don't think Brave does that for you. So I'll just get out of there and we'll just say okay. And it says I've earned 5 Beam. Okay, I'm great. You know, I'm good with that. Whatever. And it's got you know, the hash rate and stuff like that. So I know that it is working, right? And this is through Simple Mining, which, as you know, doesn't actually have the Beam miner installed. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so I think I'm ready to kind of get into it. Let's see here. I don't think I'm missing anything. Okay. Hope everybody's doing well. I got my Fireball and sweet tea, so I'm good. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's get into it. So the tool that we'll use is MOBA Xterm. I like MOBA Xterm. I'm going to get out of it and then go back into it. I like MOBA Xterm because it has the file structure on the left and then the SSH terminal on the right. So you can do both. It kind of makes things, it makes tasks like this a little bit easier. So we're going to connect to the rig. Now, in order to get the IP address of the rig, you can just go to, you know, put your mouse over the actual rig name. And in this case, it's 101. And I don't think that that's what is actually in MOBA Xterm. Let's find out. It changes. Mine is set up as DHCP. So, okay, so it's 101. So that's good. All right, so we'll connect to Kessel, and that's the NVIDIA rig, and we'll connect as root. I just want to show you, and then by default, your root logon is your email address. I mean, the password is your email address. You go root and then your email address. Now, I just want to show you what's going on right at the moment. Now, what you're looking at is an SSH session into this rig that is already running back here. And then if you go to, let's see if we go up to var temp, then this right here, this miner folder right here, I think you guys can see that, yeah, is the miner that's actually running at the moment. So as you can see, now Beam has its own miner, right? But smOS thinks that it's bminer version 5.4.0, and I'll show you how that works in just a moment, but I just want to show you how it's configured at the moment. So basically, my bminer version 5.4.0 in smOS is, so if I go over here to rig group config and I go to add a group, and I go to bminer, where's bminer? Bminer version 5.4.0, I think it was. So if I assign this to the rig, to this rig, then it is going to actually be the bminer miner, or Beam miner. Okay. So, all right. I'm probably kind of confusing you, so I want to let's go back and start at the beginning. All right. Let's go back to MOBA Xterm. I just kind of wanted to show you what was going on at the moment. we'll go back up here. We'll go to root, and then miner org, and then the miner org folder is where all the miners that you have previously assigned to this rig are actually downloaded to the thumb drive or the SSD, whatever you have connected, for simple mining. So in this case, this 5.4.0 is actually, and you can see it right here, I went into the folder, and you can see that it's actually beam miner, right? And this is like a, what do they call it? It's basically a logical pointer to trick the interface, which is Simple Mining OS, this out here. So it tricks this into thinking that it's assigning B miner whenever it's actually assigning the beam miner. All right, so let's see if we can get through this here. So what we'll do first is we have to assign, what you have to do first is you have to assign a miner that you're not intending on using, so that it gets the file structure on the drive, on the USB or the SSD, and then we'll modify that after the fact. So let's start there. So what we'll do is we will go to Simple Mining, and we're going to go to we'll go to group config, and then we're going to create a new, we'll just do a new group. I mean, what I did in the past was I just went ahead and created it as I needed it. You know, I named it properly and stuff like that, but we'll just create one just for the test. Okay, so we're going to use bminer, and we'll use, let's go with version 10 just to make it easy. All right, so we'll go with select miner, and then we're going to call it we'll call it beam YouTube, just to make it super easy. And this is only NVIDIA, because I tried to do AMD, but it did not work. So I think it comes down to the miner is, for whatever reason, I couldn't get it to work. I haven't spent a whole lot of time on it, so I only got NVIDIA to work so far. So we'll just assign, well, we'll create this group, and then we're going to assign that to the rig, which is beam YouTube, right? So we go to rig list, and then we go to Kessel rig, which is the NVIDIA rig, group config, and we're going to assign that to beam YouTube. And all this is going to do is download the miner so that we get that folder structure into Simple Mining OS so that we can modify it, right? So I save that. It should reboot. I think that's the way it works. Yeah, it's going to reload, and then it's going to, you'll see it downloading the new miner, which is version 10 of bminer. Eventually. I can't believe we only have 3 people in here. This is like, I don't know. I think this is kind of cool stuff. This is stuff that I like. Modifying, you know, adding a unsupported miner to Simple Mining is one of the most frequently asked things in their forum, you know. So I really think that it's quite useful. So there it is. It's downloading the miner, the new miner, which is version 10 of bminer, right? And then of course it's not going to work because we didn't configure anything. But if you go to MOBA Xterm, now do a little refresh here. Actually, I didn't even need to do that. You can see right here where it's bminer version 10 has been downloaded, right? And then there's the miner, and this is, you know, basically the executable for running the miner. All right, so now that we have that folder structure, now we're going to trick Simple Mining OS into using that as the beam miner, okay? And if we go out to, so we have to get the location of the beam miner, and this, I think this is where I ran into a little bit of a problem. Oh wow, it's got accepted shares. How's that? I don't know what this thing is doing. All right, somehow it's got accepted shares, but okay. whatever. Oh, well, yeah, how, I don't know how that's working. I didn't put anything, a bunch of default stuff here. Okay, well, whatever. Doesn't matter. We're gonna whack that anyway. All right. So what we have to do is we have to find out where the the zip file for the miner that we want to use. So if we go to Beam, so we're going to go out here and go to, I think it's beam, yeah, beam.mw. And then we're going to go to Product, Downloads, and then right here, CUDA is NVIDIA, and then OpenCL is AMD. So we're going to, what we want to do, we kind of want to document what we're doing. So let's grab let's right click on the CUDA miner tar.gz and go copy link address. I think I already have some of this already done here. Okay, and then that produces this right here. So if we copy if we right click copy the link address, this is what we come up with, which is what we need. We need the CUDA miner.tar.gz for Beam, right? So that's the location that it is. So we'll get back to that in a moment. All right, let's go back to MOBA Xterm. And then now this is where Danny Greer comes in, because he created this on his, I think I have that up already. Hang on a second. I have his, yeah, maybe I don't have his actual, let me see if I can bring that up real quick, because I want to show you his Steemit. Actually, I do have it up, I think. Yeah, here we go. So this is Danny Greer, one-line script to add unsupported miners to smOS. This is where I get the information. Full credit to this guy. This is not something I came up with. I just found this and I thought it was cool, so that's why I'm kind of going over it. But here's his GitHub, and he's got some information in here about it. This is the string that we're basically going to execute at the command prompt in SSH in the rig. All right, so to make it easy, I'll just go ahead and copy this right here. And then we'll go back to MOBA Xterm, which we're in an SSH session here. So I'm going to right click, paste. Now, we got, that's pretty much the command, but we have to modify it, because this right here, smOS miner, is the one that we want to replace this miner, which is the Beam miner, the Beam CUDA miner, with bminer version 10.0.0, right? So we're going to remove this. It's like a variable. And then we're going to copy this over here. I mean, you could type it in too. And then we're going to right click, paste. So that's that. And then we have to put the URL to the new miner in here. So I'm going to delete all this right here. And then we're going to go and grab the URL to the new miner, which we put in that text file, right? Right here. So this is the URL to the new miner. So we're going to copy that. And then we're going to right click, paste. And everything looks pretty good. So we're going to press enter. And then you're going to see that it's going to download, and then eventually it's going to come up and say, hey, configure your rig group for bminer version 10 at simplemining.net, remembering that it is now CUDA miner, and use the appropriate config in the new miner. So you got to think about this. Like if you go to Simple Mining, and you look at your, let's see here, add group, so that was version 10, bminer version 10, right? So if we chose this miner for whatever reason, this right here is invalid. We need to use the miner options that are associated with the Beam CUDA miner, right? Because that's what we've replaced this with. So if we go back to MobaXterm and we look at our folder structure again, and we go to bminer version 10, which is the one that we used to, we replaced that with the CUDA miner, right? The Beam CUDA miner. So we go into there and look at what it has done. It has changed the structure, right? It's changed the files in the folder. So now you've got a Beam CUDA miner, which is the miner itself, and then you've got this pointer for bminer. So what that means is that over here on the website, if you assign what am I doing? Nope, that's not what I want to do. Group config. Okay, so if you assign, right now, if you assign bminer version 10 to anything, then this is actually, that is actually Beam CUDA miner. I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys are following me. If you go back to MobaXterm, you can see that that's exactly what it says right here. Configure your rig group for bminer version 10, remembering that it is now CUDA miner, which is the CUDA miner that we pointed to, the URL, right, for that miner. So what we should be able to do at this point is we should be able to go to, now I've already got this working, so I'm going to just copy this right here. NVIDIA, yep. So we'll just copy this right here. This is the miner options for bminer, for, not bminer, it's for CUDA miner, Beam CUDA miner, which is right here, this guy right here, OpenCL, or I'm sorry, CUDA miner.tar.gz. This right here is what we are actually messing with, because remember, we copied this link location and told the script to replace bminer version 10 with this. Good grief, I hope that makes sense. All right, so we will go back to, what was I doing? Go back to, oh, right here. Okay, so see how this is the default for this particular miner here. And remember that this is not bminer anymore. Now it is Beam CUDA miner. So we're going to copy this, or highlight that, paste over the top of it. And this was the working miner options in that other group that I already created earlier. Now I already grabbed a wallet, you know, and I have the receiving address and all that stuff. So you got to remember too, for your receiving address, you got to set the expiration date to never whenever you create it in the wallet, because otherwise I think it expires after 24 hours by default, if I'm not mistaken. So you want to make sure that you do that if you're going to be mining Beam. Now you can use this for any miner. It doesn't have to be Beam. This is just going over Beam. It's just using Beam as the example. So now we will click Save. And as far as I'm concerned, whoops, what did I do wrong there? I thought I clicked Save. Save. Okay. Why is that not saving? That's strange. It should look like this right here. Is it because it's already... That's weird. That is strange. Usually it would save it. I wonder if it's already... Let's see. Let's go back to rig list. I don't know. That's kind of an odd thing that it's doing there. Let's assign it to the one that works. For sure. This one right here. Let that reboot. And I'll show you that it works. And I'm like totally not looking at the chat. I don't know if you guys are saying anything or not. No, nobody's saying anything. Just talking to myself over here. Alright, so that is working. That one is working. Now what I want to see, that's really weird that it... This one should work as well. Paste that back in there. Okay, so for whatever reason it did not like it the first time, and now it's got it in there. Maybe it timed out or something. All right, so now we'll go to rig list, and we will assign this rig, the NVIDIA rig, to the group that we just created and modified and all that stuff, which is Beam YouTube. And then we'll click save, and then you'll probably see it restart over here. And I'll bring up the console here just in case. And it's submitting solutions, so that means that it's working, and that is super cool. So now what we have done is we have tricked Simple Mining OS into using a miner that we linked it to, and it downloaded it and installed it as a previous version, and that's what that script does from Danny Greer. So that's pretty much it. That's how you do it. So right now I'm mining Beam on Simple Mining OS, and like I said at the beginning, at the top, there's a new version of bminer that just came out. I don't know how long ago, 11.1 I guess, maybe, that supports Beam. So you know, all this that we just talked about might be overtaken by events basically, but you can use this in the future for other miners that come up, as long as they've got a tar.gz, right? tar.gz, then for the miner, then you should be able to use this procedure for adding it as an unsupported miner inside of Simple Mining OS. I hope that makes sense. So I think we're good here. So let me get out of here, and I'm gonna reassign that back to the original group so I can delete that one that we just created. And I was trying to do this, I was trying to mine Beam on AMD, but it just was not working. I ran into all kinds of problems. Man, I really thought that there'd be more people in here. At this point, this is cool stuff. To me, this is cool stuff. This is what I like doing. A little bit of, you know, modification to the program, I guess you could say. It's kind of neat. HiveOS does it a little differently. Theirs is a little slicker, a little easier, but again, like I said in the beginning, I could not get it to work. I don't know. I could not get it to mine. I got it to mine Veil, which came out a couple of days ago, but I could not get it to mine Beam. That it was saying that it couldn't download the miner, I believe was the error I was getting. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to mess around with that a little bit. All right, so I have assigned it back to the original group here. I think it's probably good to go. Yeah, it is. So we'll go in here and we'll delete that group that we just created. And be done with that. And man, I don't know. Nobody's talking, nobody's saying anything. What's going on? Should I end it? Should I end the stream? Only 35 minutes. That's not too bad. A few minutes was just about the fixing the problems that we ran into with the random coin mining stream or show. Random coin mining show. All right. Well. Yeah, all the credit goes to this guy. I'm actually going to probably donate to him a little bit here. Danny Greer, awesome dude. Yeah, I guess he has a lot to do with Vosscoin, Discord, and things like that. Super cool though. It was really cool that he created this, made it really super easy to, pretty easy, not as easy as HiveOS, but you know, it is super cool that that he created this method of adding an unsupported miner, because like I said, it's one of the most requested things that I see in the forums for Simple Mining OS and the Bitcoin talk. They talk about it all the time. Anytime some new coin comes out and it's got a new miner that's not in smOS already, people just flood the Bitcoin talk about, hey, when are we going to get this miner and stuff like that. So if you know this, and if you can use this method, then it doesn't even matter, right? You can do this as soon as it posts to GitHub or their website for the new miner with a tar.gz. You're good to go. You can just use this and be fine. So there you go. What's up, Billy B? You're messing with a new router. Did you buy a new router for the house? What are we talking about here? It's 11:53. I guess we should end the stream. I think I'm done. I mean, pretty much covered everything. I know that Gabriel wanted me to go over mining alloy, I think, right? In Simple Mine or in HiveOS. But I would rather do that in a different stream, or I can just contact him, you know, in the chat or whatever, in the comments, and work through that. He gave me a address that I can use, so I'll probably mess with that maybe after I end this. So I don't want to keep dragging it out. I think that 38 minutes is not bad for covering everything that we covered. I think that's pretty good. Does anybody have any questions or anything, or was this beneficial? I think it'll be sort of popular because, again, like I said, it's one of the most common things that I see people asking about, and I don't remember there ever being a video on it. So I think it's kind of cool that we did this. I think it works out. All right, well, I am going to end the stream right here at 40 minutes, almost 40 minutes. And yeah, cool. Thanks for tuning in, all three of you that are watching. I appreciate it. And, you know, this was like an additional on top of the random coin mining show. But I will see you guys again next week. I'll probably I probably won't stream tomorrow or Sunday. It'll probably be Monday evening at 9:30, which is the normal time. We will do you know, the random coin mining stream like we normally do, Monday through Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure, I actually tweeted, you know, again, I hate having to send you guys off to a different platform, but if you follow me on Twitter, you can kind of keep up with what's going on with the channel and when I'm streaming and things like that. It kind of helps out. It's one of those things where I wish that once I get enough subscribers, I'll be able to communicate directly through YouTube, I think, because I'll have what is it called? I can't remember what it's called, but there's a feature in there that gets unlocked basically after you get like 1,000 subscribers or something like that. So I have to send you over to Twitter to kind of keep track of what's going on with the channel. Today I was kind of sort of promoting Crypto Wendy-O, and I kind of got the time zones messed up because I thought that she was going to go live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but she ended up going live at 5, so I think I was off by an hour. So my bad. But she does technical analysis. She does Bitcoin technical analysis, and then she also does these random projects that get, basically she does like a voting situation on Twitter for what coins she's going to track that week, right? So it's super cool. It's like she chooses 3 of the top 3, whatever, and then she does TA analysis each day on those. I think it's each day on those throughout the week. So it's kind of neat, super cool. But she focuses mainly on Bitcoin, and that's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday that she goes live. And I guess it looks like it's at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not 6. I'm sorry, man, I'm messing this all up. It's actually 7. I thought it was going to be, no, it's 8. That's what good grief, I'm messing this all up. Okay, so it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I thought it was 9 because I thought it was going to work out perfect to where, because I asked her if she runs longer than 30 minutes, and she said no. So I thought that it was going to be about 25 minutes or whatever. So if she started at 9 Eastern Standard Time, then it would work out perfect, because she would end right before my show, and then the random coin mining show, and then at 10 we would switch over to Brandon Coin, and it would be great. But apparently she starts at 8. So whatever, it's cool. Check her out at 8, and then I don't know, hang out for a little bit, and then come back to random coin mining show at 9:30. So anyway, there you go. I am totally rambling, and I will see you guys on Monday. Thanks so much for stopping in, and this has been fun. This is super cool. This is the kind of stuff that I like. So I will see you guys on Monday. Take care. Stay savage and all that stuff, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on Monday. Thanks a lot.